Yellowstone isn't a perfect show. If you've ever caught yourself mid-episode thinking, wait, what the hell just happened? You're not alone. We have all been there. Turns out, even the creator of the hit show, Taylor Sheridan, agrees. In fact, he openly admits the show doesn't make any sense and adds that he hates the ending as well, which is crazy. So, let's talk about it. In a recent interview, Taylor spilled all of his real feelings about Yellowstone and the show's botched legacy after the disappointing ending. One of the points he highlighted was the fact that the entire series was basically a full-blown ridiculousness. Taylor said, "With Yellowstone, which is nonsensical, there's a great writer named Gretel Ehrlich who calls it my horse opera because it makes no sense and it's not trying to, and yet it's a window into a world." Well, I don't know about you guys, but seeing my favorite show in the entire world being referred to as horse opera is not what I love to hear. I mean, I love a soap opera as much as the next guy, but still, I feel like it is a stretch to call Yellowstone as one. Especially hearing this from the creator of the show definitely broke my heart. But let me know what you think. Nevertheless, let's admit it. It takes a lot to say your own show doesn't make sense and still stand behind it. Plus, even though I hate to accept, this confession explains a lot. Like how certain storylines would spiral so far from where they started that I had no idea how we got there, but all of us still couldn't stop watching. Taylor also talked about how he actually saved the show from season 3 forward, which is a very bold claim to me, because I don't know about you guys, but to me, the first 3 seasons of the show are perfect, and I have issues with season 4 and 5. But according to Taylor, season 3 was the one that sucked because he wasn't writing it, and at that point, he came in to save the series. He said, "They did try to hire a room for season 3, and the scripts were so bad that they called me back while I was directing this movie in New Mexico with Angie, and they said, 'You've got to help us out. The actors won't go to work. They're mutinying.'" Well, I don't know what to say. Do you agree that Yellowstone season 3 was terrible? And more importantly, do you agree that Taylor saved the rest of the show? Because personally, I have serious doubts over it. Still, I salute him for his determination to write Yellowstone no matter what. Turns out, at that time, he wrote an episode every Saturday. And yes, this is true hustling, regardless of the result. I can't even imagine that kind of pressure. But let me know what you think about it. And again, I appreciate Taylor for not trying to fool anyone into thinking Yellowstone is some tightly crafted, flawless masterpiece. He knows what he made, and he's shockingly honest about it. He said, "Yellowstone is a punk rock. Rebellious teenage, both middle fingers at TV and at Hollywood, and at a bunch of different things. It breaks so many storytelling rules. And it was part pandering, part horse porn at sunset, and then part Benny Hill." Now, I don't know about you guys, but personally, the first time I read that quote, I laughed out loud, simply because it's so true. That's exactly what Yellowstone feels like. He further said, "There's a very sort of loving nature with the camera that attempts to sell this place as the idyllic location to raise a family." And the thing is, Taylor knew exactly what he was doing. He saw a gap on television, a place where Westerns had disappeared, and he filled it with something fresh, something messy, something that didn't care about fitting into the usual boxes. And it worked. So, good for him. He said, "I knew there was such a thirst that a Western done well is a universally loved genre. It captures everything American, this sense of freedom and vastness and independence. And there's a romance to it. You get on a 1,200-pound animal, and that thing trusts you, and you trust it, and you run 40 miles an hour. It's just so romantic and brutal and beautiful." Turns out, even Taylor's own relationship with the show is complicated. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he is somewhat worshiping Yellowstone, which is something, to say the least. He said, "I think it's divine. It's as close to religion as anything I've ever experienced." 4.5 hours later, I'd written half the script. My wife was standing over me. I wasn't even aware she was there. Well, to me, that sounds like someone who pours everything into the page. And even though I have a bunch of criticism over Taylor's work, especially when it comes to that horrendous ending, I have to give him the credit when credit is due. But let me know what you think about his writing experience over Yellowstone. And yet, over the past year, something shifted. Kevin Costner's feud with the production, all the delays, the back and forth about when the show is ending, and what comes next has absolutely taken a toll. Even Taylor seems like he's moved on emotionally. He's knee-deep in all these other projects, from 1923 to Tulsa King. And at this point, I'm not even sure he's trying to preserve Yellowstone's legacy anymore. And maybe he never intended to. He said, I just don't think I'm that unique. If something's interesting to me, it's probably going to be interesting to a lot of other people. I'm just not that f***ing special. Well, if even Taylor is leaving the show behind, what should we, as the fans of the series, do? Honestly, I can't wait to hear your takes on it. For more weekly updates and analysis on the Yellowstone universe, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.